Hi, it's Mike, PC31, the Vinyl Policeman, and it's Friday the 14th of November, and it's finally dropped. The Rolling Stones Black and Blue Super Deluxe Edition. We're waiting for this for a while. Steve in Chicago, A for Angie, B for Black and White, C for Charlie Watts. He's been looking forward to this one as well. Yeah, it finally dropped, and I've excelled myself because I've bought the Super Deluxe Edition CD box set, and it's just staggeringly beautiful. It's in a slipcase, which I'll show you in a moment. Fantastic. But I love this album, so I've gone to town, and I've also got the vinyl box set, 5 LPs and the vinyl box set. It's a beautiful thing, folks. It's a beautiful thing. It's funny, actually. It's one of those albums that my favourite period of the Stones is the Jimmy Miller period, those 5 albums. But this album, I think it's always been fascinating because it's obviously such a transition period for the Stones. I mean, Mick Taylor quit December 75, and they were on their way to Munich to actually start to plan and record this particular album. So this album turned into a bit of a audition for guitarists as well. And I'll go through the track listing and I'll talk about each track as I go through the video. But you'll see that on each track, different guitarists appeared in and out, and they're effectively doing an audition. You've even got Rory Gallagher and Jeff Beck turning up during the sessions in Munich and in Rotterdam as well. And they were never going to join the band, but because they were both really successful solo artists at the time. But they came in and joined in the sessions. And on we've got some of the tracks here with Jeff Beck on doing some jamming. So it's really, really interesting. Let me show you the hype stickers first. So this is the one for the 5 LP box set. And what you can see there is, just run you through it, 5 LP set, 180 gram marble black and blue vinyl. The vinyl looks absolutely stunning. I think black and blue are probably my favourite colours, and this album cover I've always found from art-wise is just superb. Absolutely love that cover. In the book, which is included here, you've actually got some photographs from the sessions in Florida, which Hero did, the actual photographer. But anyway, let's carry on with this. So, brand new stereo mix of Black and Blue. Steven Wilson remix. Wow. Also been, well, okay, it's been obviously mastered because it's a remix, not by Steven Wilson, but by Matt Colton, and that's not MGK's Colton, by the way. Outtakes and jams. So there's a record in here, 6 previously unreleased tracks. It says jam tracks. There's a Chuck Berry type jam, there's Jeff Beck appearing, and a few interesting tracks, which again I'll go through. Triple LP live at Earls Court 1976. Fantastic. Not mixed by Steven Wilson, mixed by somebody else. 100-page hardcover book featuring new essay, interviews and photographs. It's a fantastic book, hardcover book, and I'll take you through that. I'll flick through it. Some fantastic pictures, but there's also some great commentary in there. And the Blu-ray is superb, because what wasn't clear to me was what was actually going to be on the Blu-ray, because you've got the rare live performance at Francis in north of Paris, I believe, L'Abattoir from 1976, so on the Black and Blue tour. There's actually video footage of that as well, but I think a lot of people felt it was probably only going to be the audio on the Blu-ray. It's not. It's actually the video of the gig. It's fantastic. And I've actually got that on a television outside at the moment. And on that Blu-ray, you've got the remix of the main album. You've got the outtakes and the rarities. And you've also got the Earls Court. Yeah, the live at the Earls Court gig as well. So you've got an awful lot of stuff with this. The CD one. So the 4 CDs. So exactly the same thing. Yeah, so on the outtakes and jams, 6 previously unreleased tracks. I Love a Lady, Shame, Shame, Shame. Studio jams including guests Harvey Mantel and Jeff Beck. 2 CDs, old school, exactly the same, 100 pages, exactly the same hub book actually, and really seen performance at L'Abattoir. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do now, folks, I'm going to change the camera angle. We're going to go downstairs, and I'm going to take you through the bits and pieces. This is great. Hang around, have a look. This is brilliant. Okay, folks, I hope you can see that okay. So what you've got is you've got this fantastic slipcase. The whole box comes out. A little word of warning, which almost got me, was when it came with the shrink wrap on it. I got my razor blade out, the scalpel thing as per normal, and started cutting around it, not appreciating there was a slipcase. So I almost, because I tried to keep shrink wrap on the top side when it's an opening one like this, and then I realised it was slipcase, so I stopped doing that. So beware, don't start slashing in with your razor blades and things. But there you are, slipcase, which really clever, disappears. Pictures disappear when you take it off. It's only against the blue background. So, fantastic slipcase. You've then got the actual box set. Here we go. So that's what we got at the sides. Okay. Nothing on the flip side. There's no loose sheet as you get with some of these. Then when you open it, this is what you see. So you've got the main album. Now, interesting enough, the original ones were, certainly my ones, glossy cover from way back in the day. These ones are matted. So in the main record, got a lyric sheet, but exactly the same, as I say, other than it's matted. The original, actually the same. You take out the records, identical as before, but here it comes, folks. Are you ready for this piece of beauty? Look at that. I hope that's coming across well. Blue and black marbled, absolutely stunning. Oh, look at that, fabulous. So I should be putting these into, that's one thing actually with sets like this, I always want them polylined, and I should put them straight into MoFi polyline things, but they're in the cardboard, which is not great, but I know the original came that way as well. Yeah, so as I say, this particular album was a transition period where they were looking for a new guitarist, and you can tell, and again, these are things which are on the original as well. But we'll go through those in a minute, and we'll talk about the actual guitarist that was on it. You got the fly sheet there of lyrics, separate sheet, and on the second record you get with this is the, there we go, Rolling Stones, Black and Blue, Outtakes and Jams, and you got the same principle as the slipcase. Again, it's this wonderful. Or every record, the 5 records in the Super Deluxe LP thing are all exactly the same. This blue and black marbled effect. On the actual record itself, then, what you've got is I Love a Lady, which is a Stones track, which has had various names actually. Shame, 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 which is the disco version. Those first two, you got Mick very much playing with a falsetto vocal. A Chuck Berry style jam with Harvey Mandel, and obviously Harvey Mandel is actually on the main record itself, and he plays a few solos and a few bits. Side 2, now quite a lot of Jeff Beck. So you got a blues jam, Rotterdam jam, and freeway jam. Not my cup of tea, to be perfectly honest with you. I've played them through, and yeah, they're freewheeling jams which don't really kind of go anywhere for me. Not too keen. I'm not a great lover of Jeff Beck, actually. I know, shock horror, but I don't know. Not a great lover. So side 2 won't get a lot of plays for me, to be perfectly honest with you. Side 1's good. To each their own. Some will absolutely love it. There's lots of huge Jeff Beck fans out there. There you go. So next thing you get is the triple album, which again, it's the same principle as the slipcase there. But Rolling Stones Black and Blue, live at Earls Court, 1976. And it's great. There's the actual set list. So 3 records. Again, they're all, I've got one on the turntable at the moment, but basically I'll just pull one out. Inner sleeves, all exactly the same principle. This is disc 3. You've got a track list there just for disc 3. And again, the gorgeous black and blue marble. Love that, absolutely love that. The other guitarists actually who were kind of went along for audition, because I say this album was very much auditioning for their next guitarist after the wonderful Mick Taylor had left. Mick Taylor was obviously regarded as a brilliant technical guitarist, which he was, and he added so much, especially during that Jimmy Miller period. But the guitarists that came along for the sessions, Steve Marriott came along, Peter Frampton, various guitarists, Carl Perkins, as I say, Rory and Jeff Beck. The big poster, and this poster is from the northern suburbs of Paris. From the, can I get that in? Probably not. No, I'm not doing very well here, but let's do it that way. There we go. Rolling Stones, L'Abattoir. Poster at the time. Okay, and I'll say this particular one, you've got the video of this. You can actually see the visuals from the gig on the Blu-ray. Fantastic. And we got the book. You can always tell it's a quality box set with the old bit of ribbon there. Lovely stuff. And here's the book. Same principle again as the slipcase. Actually, if I move that. This is a fabulous book, folks. True hardback, 100 pages, identical book in the CD box set. I flicked through this, and this is just some great one-liners in here from the time. There's some wonderful pictures. I love this. Britain, 76. Zeppelin's Present is top of the album charts. Wings are travelling at the speed of sound, but punks are approaching the gates of the rock citadel. Fantastic. Look at this. Wonderful pictures. Mick and Keith. Don't you love them? Beautiful. The great thing about this box set as well, and which Jamie Cottle would appreciate. There's Ronnie just appearing. It actually fits onto a Kallax, unlike Some Girls. That box set in the series didn't fit in the normal Kallax, and Keith's main offender. So I've had to do a bit of cobbling together with my Kallax system to make those fit over the corner over there. So Ronnie Wood. So Ronnie first appeared with the Stones on the album before this, which was with the studio album. It was Only Rock and Roll in 1974, and Ronnie actually played on It's Only Rock and Roll. He played 12-string acoustic, and it was meant to be taken off in the final mix, but Keith forgot to do it. So Ronnie is actually on It's Only Rock and Roll in 1974. After that, so then 76 is Black and Blue, 78 is Some Girls, but between both of those is Made in the Shade, 1975, a hits album, and Love You Live in 77. So, but this Black and Blue is sandwiched studio-wise between It's Only Rock and Roll and Some Girls. Fantastic. In a minute you get the pictures from the actual session in Florida, and obviously this is before digital, so the actual pictures, whereas nowadays you just probably take individual pictures of each member and then splice it all together. Only single from the album, Fall to Cry. This album, Black and Blue, went to #2 in the UK and #1 in the US. I love that t-shirt, like Keith. Who the fuck is Mick Jagger? Fantastic. There's the boys. Fantastic. Yeah, so in Florida, so before digital photography, so they would literally all just huddled together very, very tight, as you'll see in a minute. And Ronnie had only just joined. Well, in fact, here we go. So pictures from there. So they literally huddled together. There's no digital enhancement there. They just huddled, I think, on a beach or something. Here we go. But there's some great pictures coming out, some outtakes. Yeah, Ronnie had come in for the session because Ronnie Wood is only on a couple of tracks on this album. Cherry O Baby and Negrita. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's only on those two. And he hadn't actually joined the Rolling Stones at that stage. So after the album was out, he'd already been touring with the Stones in the Tour of the Americas tour. They did about 40 odd dates. But so during this time, he really was New Kid on the Block, wasn't a full member of the Stones. And Ronnie appears on the beach with his suit and tie on. And Charlie, sorry, appears on the beach with his suit and tie on. Look at that. Look. Keith, the ladies' jacket on. Fantastic. Looks superb. I mean, Ronnie Wood, he was always a Stone, wasn't he? He had to be. Here's some of the pictures now from that session. Fantastic. Look at that one. Wonderful book. Then after the album was recorded and they're starting to tour again, then Keith says to Ronnie, you're now a permanent member. And Keith comes out with a great idea and he says to Ronnie, I tell you what, why don't we not tell anybody that you're a permanent member of the Stones? And Ronnie said, yeah, that's a great idea. So that's the book. Both of the books have got the Blu-ray in the same place in the back there, and the Blu-ray is superb. So what I'm going to do now, folks, is I'm going to show you it's very similar, but it's worth showing. I'm going to show you the CD box set as well. Actually, before I do that, folks, I'll just quickly go through each track. So one of the things which I think is a strength and a weakness of this album is when I first heard it, I thought it's so eclectic. It's kind of hasn't got a lot of direction. And I know some critics, there's one particular critic who said it was all grooves and jams and no songs. But that's a bit cruel. I can understand the comment because it is grooves and jams, probably more than any other Stones record that I can think of. But they are really good grooves and jams, and there are good songs on this. But it's certainly eclectic when it comes to different genres. I mean, if you look at Hot Stuff, for instance, the first track on the album, I mean, it's a funk track. It really is a funk track. And you got Billy Preston, who appears on loads of the album. He's on piano. Absolutely fantastic. And Stephen Wilson's production on this is fantastic. I mean, my system is very much kind of middle of the road. But with my system, things are jumping out. I mean, Billy Preston's piano, I'm hearing more than I've ever heard before. It's really popping out. Some of the guitar things are really popping out. And I think with Stephen Wilson, who's such a genius in the studio, he's been very, very faithful, very respectful of the original Glimmer Twin mix. But what he's done is he's brought in some fantastic isolation of the track. So you can hear where they're all panned in the mix, and they're kind of, you can hear the little bits and pieces that were just lost in the mix before. So Stephen Wilson done another fantastic job with this. So Hot Stuff, you've got a Harvey Mantel solo. So again, this is the big audition. So Keith's obviously playing all the way through it, but Harvey Mantel, obviously Canned Heat and John Mel, playing the solo on that one. Hand of Fate, I mean, rock track. Wayne Perkins solo in that one. Again, lots of Billy Preston. Cherry O Baby, classic kind of reggae track. And you've got Ronnie Wood appearing on this one. He's not so much soloing, but he's kind of he's starting to weave with Keith with this one. And you've got Nicky Hopkins on organ. So obviously Nicky appears all over the place with the Stones. That's the only one which the Stones haven't written. That was the Jamaican Eric Donaldson. Memory Hotel, blues track, beautiful track, one of my favourites. Pianos, Keith and Mick. And also they do kind of a lead vocal on this one, but you've got Wayne Perkins. Yeah, you've got Wayne... Yeah, on acoustic guitar, Wayne Perkins, and you've got Harvey Mantel on the electric. So, yeah, fantastic stuff. B-side, Hey Negrita, which I think is very much, although it's a Jagger and Richards song, I think Ronnie Wood is heavily involved in the writing of this one, but didn't really get the credit. Hey Negrita, yeah, I mean, this is, Ronnie's on lead in this one. Ronnie plays lead, Billy Preston on organ, melody, yeah, another terrific number. Billy Preston on organ and piano, yeah, that's right. Fall to Cry, say the only single from the album, fabulous song. Nicky Hopkins on piano, Mick on electric piano, and Wayne Perkins appears again with Keith on that one. And the final stonker rock track, Crazy Mama, which has got Keith on lead guitar on that one. But yeah, fantastic track. So, okay, let's show you the CD box set. So, the CD box set, 4 CD box set, exactly the same principle, same size, fits perfectly on the Kallax. And let's get this baby open. The ribbon, fantastic. So that's what they like with the CD. So you got your Stephen Wilson remixed album there, stereo remix. Let's take one out. Here we go. Stephen Wilson mix. And as I say, obviously mastered, but not by Stephen Wilson. Then you've got the outtakes and the jams. Look identical. And then what you've got there is the 2 CDs for the Earls Court show. You've then got the poster, which I won't get out again, but it's exactly the same from Paris there. Lyric sheet, identical to the one in the vinyl set. And then of course the book, which as I say is exactly the same book, 100 pages, fabulous. And in the back of the book is the Blu-ray, which I've taken out because I'm actually playing it at the moment. So that's what the CD set actually looks like. So all in all, folks, this is one of those albums which, as I say, was never a favourite Stones album for me. I love it, don't get me wrong, but it was one of those which, because I think because of the grooves and the jams, never hit me as hard as some of the other ones. But I must say, over the years, it has really grown on me, and this particular presentation has lifted it out so much, and I think it's fabulous. So this is such a good set. So I'd recommend, if you want CDs, go for this. If you want for the vinyl, go for the one. I've got I've also bought the just to spend lots of money. I've also got the Zoetrope coming as well, which hasn't come today. So I'll show that as soon as it comes, but that looks really, really good as well. So I hope that was useful, folks. Wonderful album, presentation, absolutely superb, fantastic box sets. So, okay, speak again soon.